She had the biggest heart. Amelia. My Amelia. I remember the day we met like it was yesterday. It was at a local soup kitchen, her ladling out steaming bowls of pasta, her smile as warm as the food she served. Her kindness drew me in, her compassion a beacon in the mundane. We fell in love, slowly, surely. Our love story wasn't a whirlwind romance, it was a slow dance in the rain. Comfortable silences punctuated by bursts of laughter. We built a life together, brick by loving brick. Our home, filled with warmth and laughter, was a testament to the love we shared. Amelia was the kind of woman who made you believe in goodness, in the inherent goodness of humanity. She saw the best in everyone, even when they couldn't see it in themselves. It was one of the many things I loved about her, and one of the many things I miss most. The takeout containers lay open on the counter, sweet and sour chicken, her favorite. I remember the unease creeping in as I unlocked the front door. An unsettling silence hung heavy in the air, replacing the usual symphony of Amelia's evening rituals. Amelia? My voice echoed in the unnerving stillness. I found her in our bedroom, a lifeless silhouette against the floral patterns of our bedspread. Her eyes forever shut, the world tilted on its axis. My breath caught in my throat, a silent scream. That night, my world shattered, leaving behind jagged shards of memories and a deafening silence that whispered her absence. It was the night my Amelia became a ghost that haunted the hollow chambers of my heart. The police swarmed our home, their faces grim, voices hushed. Days bled into weeks, the investigation a blur of interrogations and forensic reports. The initial flurry of activity eventually waned, the leads turning cold, the answers elusive. My Amelia's murder became another unsolved case, a statistic. The detectives, once hopeful, now wore the weary expressions of men who had stared into the abyss of human darkness one too many times. Their words, though unspoken, hung heavy in the air. We may never find her killer. The lack of closure was a wound that refused to heal. Each day I woke up to the same nightmare. The echo of her absence, a constant reminder of the life stolen. The future shattered. The post-mortem report arrived on a day that mirrored my mood, gray and heavy. The words blurred, the medical jargon swimming before my eyes until one sentence leaped out, a shard of glass piercing my gut. Amelia had been pregnant, 6 weeks. She hadn't known. I hadn't known. A wave of nausea washed over me, the bitter tang of grief mixed with a sickening sense of injustice. They had taken not one, but 2 lives. The thought of Amelia carrying our child, our future, only to be so cruelly robbed of it was unbearable. The weight of their absence pressed down on me, suffocating. Years blurred, a monotonous cycle of grief and numbness. Amelia's memory, a bittersweet ache in my chest. I found solace in the routine, the mundane predictability, a shield against the chaos of my emotions. One rainy afternoon, while sorting through a box of Amelia's belongings, I stumbled upon a dusty, leather-bound diary. Her familiar handwriting on the cover sparked a flicker of warmth amidst the desolation. As I opened the diary, a yellowed photograph slipped out. It was Amelia, radiant and beautiful, her hand resting on a rounded belly. The caption, scrawled in her handwriting, sent a chill down my spine. 6 weeks along, and I can't wait to meet you, my love. Section 6. Betrayal in Ink and Blood. Reading Amelia's diary was like peeling back layers of a horrifying truth. Her words, filled with love and longing, weren't directed at me. They were for him, my father. The diary entries painted a picture of a clandestine affair, their forbidden love blossoming in the shadows of our family. The dates, the details, the depth of their betrayal, it was a cruel joke, a nightmare I couldn't wake from. The unborn child, our child, was his. My father, the man I'd always looked up to, was a monster hiding in plain sight. The revelation struck me with the force of a physical blow, leaving me gasping for air in a world suddenly devoid of oxygen. Section 7. Seeking answers in the shadows. Grief, anger, betrayal, they swirled within me, a toxic cocktail threatening to consume me. I needed answers. I needed justice for Amelia, for our unborn child. Driven by a need for retribution, I hired a private investigator. Jack Hartigan, a grizzled veteran with eyes that had seen too much, listened intently as I poured out my story, my voice raw with emotion. He didn't judge, didn't offer platitudes. He simply nodded, his gaze steady, and said, "Let's find out what really happened to your wife, son." Hope, once a distant flicker, rekindled in my chest. It was a small ember, fragile and easily extinguished, but it was enough to fuel my pursuit of the truth. Section 8. Unmasking the Monster. Weeks later, Jack called, his voice tight with suppressed excitement. He had found something, a seemingly insignificant detail from the crime scene photos, overlooked by the police. A smudge on the windowsill, barely visible to the naked eye. It was paint. The same paint used in my father's workshop. The DNA test on the smudged paint confirmed it. Confronted with this irrefutable evidence, my father confessed. He had gone to see Amelia that night, to convince her to end the pregnancy, to keep their affair a secret. An argument ensued, fueled by jealousy, rage, and the fear of exposure. In a moment of blind fury, he had struck her, silencing her forever. Section 9. The Weight of Justice, the Burden of Truth. My father's trial was a media frenzy. The betrayal, the murder, the revelation of his paternity, it was a story ripped from the pages of a tabloid. Throughout the trial I watched him, a shell of the man I once knew, his eyes devoid of remorse, his face a mask of indifference. He was sentenced to life in prison, a fitting punishment for his heinous crimes. But justice, I realized, was a double-edged sword. It brought a sense of closure, yes, but it couldn't erase the pain, the betrayal, the gaping hole in my life. The truth had unmasked a monster, shattered my family, and left me with scars that ran deeper than any blade could reach. The weight of his sins, of my family's legacy, settled upon my shoulders, a burden I would carry for the rest of my days.